All right, so move on to the final segment. We're going to pivot over here to the world of wrestling inside the WWE world. And I'll be sharing my WWE Evolution PLE summary, or predictions, excuse me, PLE predictions. So, heading into this WWE Women's PLE, this is going to be the second time in WWE history that we have a all-women's PLE card. It is great for women's wrestling. And this card should be as great as the first Evolution card that we got dating back to 2018. So, starting off with the first match on the card, we'll probably kick off the show will probably be the Women's Battle Royal. The winner of the Women's Battle Royal will get a world title shot at Clash in Paris. So, I think this is going to be something similar that we've seen at the 2018 Evolution Battle Royal that we've seen on that card, where you have superstars of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, and legends, icons, and Hall of Famers participate in this Women's Battle Royale. So I think this could be a fun one. I'm going to go with Stephanie Vaquer to win this Women's Battle Royal and punch a ticket to get a Women's World Title shot at Clash at Paris. I think from what Stephanie Vaquer has done, she's one of the hottest women in the WWE, climbing up the ranks. She was a double champion in NXT this year, holding the NXT championship and the NXT North American Women's Championship. She's been skyrocketed to the main roster very quickly, and I think she could get a world title shot at Clash in Paris with the likes of Io Sky or Rhea Ripley, depending on who's holding the world title by the end of SummerSlam, because I'll get to that in a few moments, but I think the rematch is going to happen between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. But I think Stephanie Vaquer is going to win this Battle Royal. Now, as I recorded this segment, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez will be defending the women's tag team titles in a fatal four-way tag team match. Now, as I record this segment, the teams that have been announced so far have only been Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They'll be representing the tag team division on SmackDown. And we have some teams that will be added from, two teams that will be added from Monday Night Raw, and a team that will be added from NXT. So we're going to have Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez have their first title defense together as women's tag team champions. Mind you, Raquel Rodriguez is already one half of the women's tag team champions, and Liv Morgan is unfortunately out due to a shoulder injury for the next 5 to 6 months. Therefore, Roxanne Perez, a new member of the Judgment Day, is going to step up and defend the titles with Raquel Rodriguez. So I think this could be a fun tag team match depending on the teams that will be added to the match. Hopefully this match is good and we do see something start to materialize with these women's tag team titles, because other than the Bianca Belair and Naomi tag team title run or the Bianca Belair Jade Cargill tag team title runs, these titles have been cursed since they've been gifted to us in 2019. Nothing really special has materialized with these damn titles. Or you could also throw in the title reign of Bayley and Sasha Banks when they held all the gold. I forgot about that in the pandemic era. But I think this could be a good match. I think the gold is going to remain in the Judgment Day. I'll go with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez to retain the women's tag team titles here. Now, the next match, you'll have Jade Cargill versus Miss Money in the Bank Naomi in a no-holds-barred match. Now, honestly, this is going to be a good match. And I will have to say I've enjoyed the rivalry on the blue brand of SmackDown between Jade Cargill and Naomi. The jealousy that has materialized over the months on the blue brand of Naomi not liking the fact that Jade Cargill was basically taking the attention away from what was her best friend at the time, Bianca Belair. And that's where Naomi pushed Jade Cargill in the parking lot, wrote her off television for months, and then Jade Cargill took out Naomi in the Elimination Chamber. Then they had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania where it was Jade Cargill that defeated Naomi. Now, months later, we are getting the rematch at Evolution, and Naomi actually stepped through Jade Cargill to get a spot in that Money in the Bank women's ladder match, defeated Jade Cargill and Nia Jax in a triple threat match on SmackDown. Now this rematch is going to be underway. I think this is going to be a good match. There's going to be a lot of weapons that are going to be used, a lot of creative, fun spots. But if I had my way, it would be Naomi defeating Jade Cargill. That's going to be my pick, Naomi to defeat Jade Cargill. But I wouldn't be surprised if the WWE wants to go in the route of having Jade Cargill go over Miss Money in the Bank and Naomi, since she is the queen of the ring, since she does need a momentum. And she does need to go full steam ahead to look strong for that title match she's going to have against Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam for the Women's World title. But give me Naomi, but I wouldn't be surprised if they let Jade Cargill get the win. Now, next match, you have JC Jane should be defending her NXT Women's Championship against Jordynne Grace. Now, I will say I am happy that an NXT match was added to the card. An NXT Women's match was added to the card. And mind you, at the first Evolution, there was an NXT Championship match that had Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Championship. So it's not a bad idea to have another NXT Championship match around this time around. But I was shocked in the NXT Women's division. They're loaded, stacked top to bottom with women's wrestlers. But I was surprised that JC Jane, a month or so ago, did defeat Stephanie Valkyrie to become the new NXT Women's Champion on the episode of NXT. I was not expecting that. That was an unexpected title change. And that goes to the credit of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. He is an unpredictable booker if you follow the NXT brand. But I honestly was shocked. But then I'm like, JC Jane does deserve a title reign of some sort on this brand, because as long as she's been there since 2021, we know the Toxic Attraction days that she came on to the new era of NXT with Mandy Rose and Gigi Dolan. But now, fast forward, she's a world champion on the black and silver brand. I was gonna say black and gold, but black and silver brand. But as I digress, Jordynne Grace has actually been great since she's debuted to the WWE, dating back to the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble. Even though she was on the TNA roster, now she's a part of the WWE roster, and she's been a great addition to this NXT Women's division. She's had some great matches over the years. And I think it's time to put a title on Jordynne Grace. I think that she's well deserved of a title run in NXT. Has challenged for the title a few times now, came up short, but I think she's going to defeat Jordynne Grace to become the new NXT Women's Champion at Evolution. Unfortunately, JC Jane is going to have a short, unmemorable title reign. Now, next match on the card, you'll have Tiffany Stratton defend her Women's Championship against Trish Stratus. Now, I am glad that Trish Stratus is back in the WWE. At age 49, Trish Stratus, one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, she could still go in women's wrestling in the WWE. And she's had some good moments since coming back out of retirement. You could date back to SummerSlam 2019, where she faced Charlotte Flair. They had a pretty good match. Then you could date back 2 years ago to the program that she had with Becky Lynch. That was a pretty good rivalry, especially their steel cage match that they had at Payback that year. That match truly stole the show on that card. But just a few examples of why Trish Stratus, that age is just a number. She could still go in the wrestling ring, and now she's back to put over a young star in Tiffany Stratton. The WWE views Tiffany Stratton as the next big thing in the women's division. But Tiffany Stratton needs to improve her championship reign, and she needs to prove to us why she is championship material, because it's been a weird 6 to 7 months of her holding the title. She's been in constant matches with Nia Jax, and that awkward matches she had with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. The only things that stand out to me during this title run is her match that she had against Bayley in the beginning of the title reign. And it's not really anything that stands out to me during her title run. But I think Tiffany Stratton needs this match to be special, and I think she is going to defeat Trish Stratus to retain the title here. But I need to see something special out of Tiffany Stratton to make me believe that Tiffy time is here to stay in the WWE, and not just going to be a flash in the pan with one world title reign. Now, next match, you'll have Io Sky defend her women's world title against Rhea Ripley. Now, I have been disappointed in the title reign that Io Sky has truly had since holding the women's world title for a second time in her career on the main roster. Now, I thought this title run would be much better when she shockingly defeated Rhea Ripley to win the women's world title on the road to WrestleMania on an episode of Raw. But she's only defended the title once since, she hasn't actually defended the title since WrestleMania, since that epic triple threat match of herself, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. And I know Io Sky cannot cut promos, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of different type of nationalities that aren't known for cutting promos in a WWE ring. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't take that the wrong way, please. But I'm just saying, if you know that's not her specialty, then have Io Sky wrestle in the ring and defend her title, having quality world title matches or have her having open challenges to any woman available on the Raw roster to make us believe that Io Sky is going to be a great women's world champion. They've done the opposite. WrestleMania was in April. We're in July, and she's now just defending the title again. How do you not have enough screen time for her? But I think this match between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley is going to be really good. You have the powerhouse versus the high flyer in Io Sky. They already have the in-ring chemistry, but the story here is Rhea Ripley's never defeated Io Sky in one-on-one competition. Now you have this match taking place in one-on-one, and I think Rhea Ripley is going to defeat Io Sky to become the new women's world champion. It's going to be some type of twist here. It should end in some type of controversial fashion to set up a rematch between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, either night 1 or night 2 in August. And what should be the main event of Evolution, the final match that I'll cover will be Becky Lynch defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship, putting the title on the line against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria in a triple threat match. Now, I think this has actually been one of, if not the best women's storyline in women's wrestling in all wrestling promotions in 2025. The story that's unfolding between Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley has been a chef's kiss, picture perfect. And this is for a women's mid-card title. So shows you these women are doing everything they can to make this story feel special. But it all dated back to Becky Lynch taking out Bayley, attacking her, writing her off for WrestleMania, leaving Lyra Valkyria needing a partner for going up against the women's tag team champions of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch and Lyra win the titles. 24 hours later, they lose the titles, and Becky Lynch turns on Lyra Valkyria, setting up for a picture-perfect story between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, her mentor turning on her, and they're feuding over the Intercontinental Championship. The promos and the matches have been great between Becky Lynch and Bayley. Then, boom, you add Bayley into the mix. Remember, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria had a friendly rivalry going on with both of the respective women defeating each other. Then you had Becky Lynch that took out Bayley to get a crack at the women's tag team titles. That bad blood that they have, 2 out of the 4 horsewomen in WWE history. This is just great. And now you have the 3 respective wrestlers that are great in the ring together. They're going to hit it out of the park at Evolution. I think this is going to be the best match on the card. And give me Lyra Valkyria to become the new Intercontinental Champion, establishing herself as one of the new faces of the women's division, defeating Becky Lynch and Bayley in a triple threat match to win and regain the Women's Intercontinental Championship, setting up for a rematch that will happen at SummerSlam between Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. But that is my WWE Evolution PLE predictions. That is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode.